Welcome back to the Over the Shoulder Podcast, episode 40. Now, I know last time I said it was episode 40, but I can't count. I miscounted. Last episode was actually episode 39. This episode is episode 40, which actually works out really nicely because episode 40, we're starting off with a brand new permanent co-host. Now, if you don't know what's happening, let me just a quick, if you want to hear the full story, watch the previous episode where Rob talked about it. Long story short, there's no animosity between me and Rob. I'm still good friends with him. There's nothing going wrong. Just go see the past episode if you want the full story. But that does mean we need a new co-host. And of course, there's no one better we could have picked but Casey, KOL fan 93. Casey, go ahead, introduce yourself, and tell us who we have on as a guest this week.
What is going on, you guys? It's KOL fan 93 back here with the Over the Shoulder podcast. And today we've got a very special guest with us. Yes, we do, coming straight from the Belt Addicts Anonymous admin team, one of the Hall of Famers, one of the most influential in our group, came in guns blazing and absolutely dug his way into the pavement, making a name for himself in the belt hobby. And I'm talking about our good friend, Dayne Powell. Dayne, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Oh, man, I don't know how to follow up that introduction. Gosh dang. Yeah, I did. I guess I did come in guns blazing. Inspired a few people, and I'm still in the beginning stages of things and enjoying every bit of it and enjoying new people. And thanks to you guys for having me on again. This is a little bit more conventional. I'm not traveling on the way back this time, so I don't have to be in the truck. So let's get into these things and have some fun tonight.
Great. Well said. Very excited to do this. Now, we're actually ranking the Ruthless Aggression and the PG era championships that goes up to 2010. So let's start off with the undisputed version 1, the only belt on this list with the WWF logo. Beautiful belt, very small, but I really do like it. Very elegant, very classy. I love the texturing. I love the leather work on it. I really love this belt. I'm probably ranking it at a 2. Just because of the size. I think it's a bit too small, but it's still a beautiful belt. Casey, what do you think about it, and where would you rank it?
Man, I think we've talked about this one before, you and I and Rob. Funny enough, this is my favorite World Championship design of all time. This was the last WWF World Championship belt. From the second this thing hit TV after WrestleMania 18, I loved it. I remember seeing it as a little kid. I was like, whoa, that's new. I like it. And the replicas, God, I wish we could have got that WWF replica. I absolutely love this thing. Everything like you said, the texturing, the leather work, the stones, the way they popped in that light, the WWF logo, like, man, this can't go anywhere but a number 1 for me.
Dana, what do you think?
I'm kind of the same. The leather work back then on that, I mean, the stones and everything popping, I would say 1, 2. I really like that one.
All right, perfect. Goes to 1. Beautiful, beautiful belt. Now let's talk about the version 2. Different logo, the WWE logo, bigger size, different tooling, different snap box. A few changes. If you want to see a more detailed video about the difference between this, we actually made an episode on this way back. I think it was episode 1 or something like that. So yeah, go ahead and check that out if you want to see detailed differences between V1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. But the V2, basically bigger, new logo, different tooling, different snap box. I do like this about the same. I think it's too big though. I think the V5 was a perfect size, which is a bit in between the V2 and the V1. But I would rank it slightly lower than the V1, but not by far. I'm probably ranking it also a 1. What do you think, Casey?
Man, this thing, God, is this the biggest championship they've ever had? Like, ever?
Come on,
bigger than the Andre?
I don't know. I think the Andre's bigger.
Like main plate wise, it's a stretch, dude. Huge. Like I've got one right here over my shoulder at V2. This thing is huge. Seeing that belt on guys like Eddie Guerrero.
I don't want to interrupt, but the Eddie Guerrero actually had the V4.
Yes.
What? Was it a different size?
I believe it was slightly smaller, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, well, just cut that part of the video out.
I mean, no, everyone thinks he has a V2. Even like the Signature Series is V2. but he
Yeah.
held the B4.
I mean, it's still a big belt. I mean,
It's still huge.
Nevertheless, that thing is damn
massive. Yeah.
Yeah, it's fucking huge. Definitely bigger, much better than anything those assholes at United Belt Brothers could put out. Man, that's for you, Rob. Yeah, I got to give this thing a 2 because I wasn't necessarily a fan of the size, especially somebody of like my stature. The replica, good God, the replica dwarfs me. Like,
yeah.
No, this is a solid 2 for me.
Same.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I mean, I already took my one spot, but yeah, I'll have to go.
I mean, you can still put more in one. You just gotta rearrange it. There's tiers to one. We'll rearrange them at the end, each 1 to 5. There's going to be top of one and then bottom of one, so you can still rearrange it. Just saying.
Well, now you put me in between a rock and a hard place. Thanks, Max.
Don't limit yourself.
In that case, man, I don't know. It's still tough. I like what I ranked at 1. I'll go with spot 2 on the V2.
All right. Now going on to the women's title. Don't like this belt. Not a big fan of it. It seems lazy to me. It just I don't know. Jamar is just Jamar laziness. The design is obviously the same shape as a smoking skull. It still has a barbed wire, which makes 0 sense. Why does the women's title have barbed wire? It's just so lazy. The leather cut is ugly. The backing is decent with the brown croc. It's just a boring design. I don't like it too much. I'm putting it at like a 4. I'm not a big fan of this belt, to be honest. With time, I've disliked it even more. Casey, I know you like this belt, so go ahead.
Well, on the contrary, I don't like it as much as you may think. I am a big fan of the Attitude version of it. Absolutely. But I feel like when everything changed over, they went a little overkill with this thing. I mean, let's scrunch everything together, make it look like a damn football in the middle of this smoking skull template. Yes. And let's slap a big old smiley nameplate on it. And I mean, the addition of the I guess would be the 4th plate on this thing, that was pretty cool. It was innovative since they didn't really have the replicas that had them before. Which, I mean, I know we're talking about the TV belt, but nevertheless, you could not get a replica of the WWF with that 6th plate. But I don't know. It was an ovular plate. I really liked it. I owned this belt actually 2 or 3 different times, and I'm not too huge on it. I'm a big fan of the Attitude one, like I said, but this one probably going to get a 3 for me.
Dane, what do you think?
I'm right there with you, Max. I mean, it was hideous. I mean, it was. What was it? You said football in the middle, right? It looks more like a Goodyear blimp to me in the middle. I mean, it was just so, like you said, Max. It was just so poorly put together, and it's horrible. Like, especially when you were trying to go away from the Diva name, and then you go with that. I mean, it makes the Diva one look a lot better, and like it would be more of something somebody would want to hold in their hands versus that. So I'm going to go back down to a 4 with it as well.
Yeah, not a big fan of this. I don't understand. I think the big thing with this belt is nostalgia, to be honest. I think nostalgia, if people didn't grow up watching this belt in the Attitude Era like me, you can see with a clear vision and see how ugly this belt is. Just saying. Let's move on to some beautiful belts, though. And that is the Ruthless Aggression Tag Team Championships. Let's talk about the Raw. This is my favorite tag team championship of all time. Not the SmackDown. Let's look at Testicle. The Raw one looks beautiful. I love it. Sorry, I got ahead of myself. But I'm ranking it number 1. I love that belt. It's beautiful. The purple red. It's perfect. It's a perfect belt. I love it. Love the side. Love the size. Love the nameplate. The colors, the leather. It's just a beautiful, beautiful belt. Screams prestige. Love this Raw tag. Casey, what do you think?
Max, I'm on the same level with you just about right there. I love this belt. It was a huge part of my childhood. Kane and Rob Van Dam. Good God. How many times did Kane hold that damn thing? 2 or 3? I always loved that belt. It screamed Raw. The red popped so well. It wasn't my favorite tag team title design, but it's definitely up there. So I gotta go with my gut and give this thing a number 2. Yeah, that's about it.
Dane, what do you think? Where would you rank this?
2.
Exactly. Thanks, Dane.
No, I'm with you, Max. Like the red, the gold, the black. It was a perfect mixture. I loved it. It seemed like the tag title to hold. And as a kid, watching and seeing that one, that was the one I wanted to see. Changing hands and seeing who would hold it. And that was my favorite tag title. I'm going up top with 1 as well.
Perfect. Sorry, Casey,
Get out of
going
here.
right to the rightful spot of number 1. Let's move on to the SmackDown with this. This is, let's be honest, this one looks like a fucking ass or a ball sack or whatever you want to see. It's such a ugly shaped nameplate. It just ruins the belt for me. The 2 different shades of blue, it's not doing it for me. It's very meh, in my opinion. I mean, I know a lot of people. I know Casey. You're burning with anger right now. I can see it in your eyes. You hate. I'm just kidding. And Rob, and you're watching. Sorry, Rob. This belt, it's not there with the Raw. The Raw is here and SmackDown's there. Unfortunately, yeah, I'm putting it. I mean, it's still a decent belt. I know I'm shitting on it, but it's still a pretty good belt. It's not there with the Raw. Unfortunately, I'm putting it at 3 though. Casey, what do you think?
Man. Well, I mean, everybody that knows me should know my favorite tag team title design is the Attitude Era tag team title. So, I mean, you're not like breaking my heart there. However,
that's next week. Next week.
However, right here over my shoulder sits the evolution of that Attitude Era tag team title. I always preferred the SmackDown to the Raw because it carried on that design. Because I thought, like, young KOL fan 93 watching SmackDown and Raw back in the day, when they got that belt, I was like, oh, it kind of looks like the old one, so maybe they're continuing that history, which, if I remember correctly, they had it like ass backwards. The Raw tag wound up getting the entire lineage history, and the SmackDown tags like got established 2002. And for God's sakes, Rikishi and the Fabulous Rico held them together like it was insane. Yeah, that's another story for another time. But I love the SmackDown tag. Absolutely love it. My favorite version, of course, is the one like the replica with the black logos and the like 2x5 snap boxes on each end. Love it. Got to give it a number 1. Sorry, guys.
All right, I can respect that. Dane, what do you think?
I mean, I was a fan of it, and until Max notated that it looks like a ball sack. I never noticed that until now. Thanks, Max.
No worries.
I mean, I'm with Casey. I was a SmackDown guy, of course, in that era. Eddie Guerrero and all them. And correct me if I'm wrong. That was the ones that Eddie and Batista held, correct?
Yeah, I believe so.
So, I mean, that's when I really was getting back into it and was a big Eddie fan, Batista fan. But gosh dang it, Max, you really turned the tables on me. I'm gonna go down with a 3 with that one.
All right. Sorry, Casey. Number 3. Now let's move on to the Oval. Class. The Oval is ugly. Like, it looks like fucking. It's so ugly. It's compressed. It looks so wide. Don't even get me started. This is like the worst version. It's like with a nameplate and everything. It just looks so bad. Crammed in there. The Intercontinental Champion is crammed all into one. Why did they need that nameplate before? At least before it didn't have the nameplates. It looked decent. It was spread out. But now it's all crammed in there. The globe is like shaped like a bean. What globe is like that? This leather's mediocre. The square plates with the oval main plate, so weird. This is a 4 for me. That's being generous. I probably want to put it at 5. Casey, what do you think?
Hey, don't you listen to him. It's okay. Okay. You are not ugly. Apologize to my child.
I'm sure he has a nice personality.
He's a commemorative, damn it. No, you know I'm a big fan of the Oval IC. However, this one, not so much. I mean, I do love my replica, or commemorative, whatever you want to call it. I've always liked the Oval Intercontinental, regardless of what it was or which version. But the WWF Oval Intercontinental is obviously my favorite one. This one would probably take a number 3 spot on this list and in my ranking for the Intercontinental. I do love this thing, but not enough to put it in the top 2.
Nice.
And it's kind of the nameplate thing for me. Like you said, where the banner, like they put the nameplate there, so the banner goes up and smashes together to Intercontinental Champion.
Yeah,
I didn't like that.
It looks like one word.
Even a little me noticed that was just a little loud.
Yeah. No, Dayne, what do you think?
The oval. It was just as lazy as the women's championship. It's like, let's just throw something on there and throw it out there, and the Intercontinental Championship was something to want and have. It was that to get you right before you get to the top. I mean, that was the key with the Intercontinental Championship, and with that one, you're just like, okay, I'm gonna throw this in my bag at the end of the night and I hope nobody sees.
The Oval IC, sorry to interrupt you, it screams mid-card. It screams low mid-card. The Classic IC screams, it could be a world title. You change it, it can be a world championship easily. That Oval IC is not going past mid-card easily.
Exactly. And I'm with you there. The Oval with the square side plates is just horrible clashing there. So I'm going to go with, let's see, I'll go down to a 3 with it.
I can definitely agree with you guys. This should not go outside of Intercontinental, but in my opinion, it is perfect for what it represents.
Yeah. Now let's move on to the U.S. spinner. Design-wise, but for the character of John Cena and what it represented and him carrying it, I do like that he's the only person that actually held this belt. I'm glad they didn't carry it on and be the if this was a permanent design, this would rank way, way lower for me. But the fact that it was just John Cena's belt, and I believe they had plans of probably doing this is the actual belt, considering the V2 with the nameplate and the John Cena banner gone that Rob used to own and he sold now. But I'm glad they kept it. It's just John Cena's US title. I think it's okay. I'd probably put it at a 3, just because I like it for the character. Design wise, it's all right. Putting it a 3 though. Casey, what do you think?
I mean, it's definitely cool for what John Cena was at the time. But I mean, if you look back on that, especially if you were there during that time as a fan, and Dayne, you may remember this too, but a lot of the fans hated that thing.
Mm-hmm.
It derived way too far away. It just drove way too far off from the tradition. Like, everybody was kind of just in unison. What the hell is this? Now, there were the people that thought it was cool, and now you look back on it, you're like, hey, that was pretty cool for the time, but as cool as you may think this belt is, it does not deserve a very high ranking. I got to give this thing a 4.
What do you think?
Dang. You guys are
harsh.
You guys are harsh. I mean, 12-year-old, 14-year-old me thought it was cool. I was back into it, and that's when, of course, spinners were big, spinners on your cars and stuff like that. So I get where they were going with it and trying to just, stay popular with the fans, but it ended up backfiring a little bit. I do love how the flag stood out versus championship itself. It was meant to be American U.S. champ. I'll go to a 3 with it.
All right, so Casey, you picked 3. I picked 3. It is. Let's move on to the Cruiserweight Championship. I'm not a huge fan of this, to be honest. Very meh, in my opinion. Very boring. Not as bad as the light heavyweight, that piece of shit. But thankfully, it's just
that's your favorite
boring.
one.
It's just so boring. I do like red. I do like the red, but it's so boring for me. It's not doing it. It looks like a puzzle. It's not in a good way. 4. Casey. You know what? I can go to low 3, but I'm probably going 4. Casey, what do you think?
Sometimes
I,
I just really don't understand you.
I love how much I'm irritating you.
Yeah, this is why we're perfect co-hosts.
Complete opposite opinions.
Rob, where are you? No. All opinions respected. I am a big fan of the WCW Cruiserweight, and I like that this belt carries on the design of that main plate. That's really the main thing this has going for it is it does look similar. The side plate's obviously long shot away from it.
See, that's why I like the cruiserweight from WCW. I love the side plates.
Aside from what the main plate represents, and you know what, I got to go ahead and throw in the sixth plate because that thing was pretty cool. It was unique. It was its own thing, and aside from those two things, the belt was kind of so. Overall, I'd probably give this a 3.
Okay, Dayne, what do you think?
Man, I actually liked it. And it's way far better than the Intercontinental Championship, looks wise. I think I'll go. You know what? I'll even go as far as a 2 with this one.
How much Dayne is going to a 3.
Dang.
Majority rules. Now there are 2 spinners on this tier list, and I didn't realize until I actually imported them on here that you can't see the side plates, which makes it pointless. Why I added 2, but let me try and explain why. The first one that we're looking at right now, this one is the original one with the SmackDown side plate and the black paint around the fist. The next one is the Monday Night Raw version. So we'll talk about the SmackDown version first. It's cool. I think the SmackDown plate is cool, but it doesn't really go with the whole belt, in my opinion. The black paint stands out a lot. It's very loud, and I don't mind it. I just think the Monday Night Raw is better. That being said, the spinner belt itself, with time, I've grown to like it a bit more. Just because of just remembering who held it. I love seeing Punk with it. I think it looks so good on Punk. Of course, it looked good on Cena, and like I'm probably ranking it a 3. To be honest, I can't put it higher than a 3 because it's a spinner belt, but I don't mind it. Casey, what do you think?
I mean, SmackDown one is the original one. That's the one we've been begging for a damn replica for, God, 20 years almost. Like,
Yeah.
Why hasn't it happened yet? WWE Shop, are you listening? Like, hello? I like this. I like the SmackDown version. I prefer the one where the fist had the stones in it.
Mm-hmm.
I prefer that one much, much more to just the regular black paint edition because it just seemed lazy. Especially with all the stones it wound up with in the end. Everybody knows I like CM Punk. A good deal, actually. And the V2 holds a special place in my heart, but my favorite version of the spinner was always a solid tie, and one of those that was in the tie was the SmackDown side plate. So I got to give this thing probably a 2.
Dayne, what do you think?
I'm there with it. I mean, it was put together well. A great belt. It did. Going on from the U.S. spinner to this. I mean, they kept John Cena's theme and the whole deal with that. So I'm sticking it with it as a 2.
All right, 2 it is. I have to respect the majority rule, even though I don't agree with it. So it'll be at the number 2 spot. Now let's go to the radar spinner. I do really like this for what it was. It was kind of cool. They could have done way more with it. And they kind of just threw this logo back there, but it's okay. I mean, it's a decent custom belt. For what it was cool with Edge, seeing Edge hold it. I'm probably putting it at a 3 as well. Casey, what do you think?
Rated R spinner. I got a soft spot for it. Man, I thought this thing was so cool. Whenever Edge had that thing come down from the rafters in that billowing smoke, and I saw that thing, I thought it was just the greatest shot at John Cena. I was 13 years old when that happened, and I was like, man, that's a great shot. I said, that makes that belt so cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's such a shame that it was so short-lived because there were better things about the real one than there were the replica. Obviously, like the real one did have the spinner plate was cut out and the background actually was black, whereas the replica is one solid piece. So, I mean, the real one, you look at it and you can't help but just be like, son of a bitch. It's pretty cool. So the rated R, special place in my heart, also going to go in the number 2 spot.
All right. Dayne, what do you think?
Casey already knows that this one's really got a special place in my heart. And, you know, young me at the time, like Casey said, that thing coming down from the rafters, I was and is a huge Edge fan. And seeing that one come down from the rafters and, you know, in that era, and it was pretty much Edge saying, hey, seeing anything you can do, I can do better. So as much as I love this and I love Edge, this one's going 1 for me.
Now, this is the first time we all have different numbers none of us agreed on. I can go to 2. That's what I can go to, since you both like it, I can go to 2, but sorry, Dayne, I'm not going to number 1.
Oh, you dirty.
Now let's move on to the 3D Big Gold. This is a beautiful belt. I love this belt. Number 1, easy. Casey, go. I mean, what else is there to say? It's the Big Gold. It's the 3D texture, the best version of it, other than the chrome. It is a gorgeous, gorgeous belt. Beautifully crafted, beautiful leather, and damn, it looked good on Triple H. Casey, what are you ranking this?
How can you not love this belt? And Triple H, oh my God. Triple H and the Ruthless Aggression was the epitome of the term heel. Like, you loved to hate Triple H being world champion. And it worked. And that belt right there, just the larger-than-life character that he was portraying on TV, that belt said it all. It's a solid piece of gold. Gold-plated zinc. And it's gorgeous. They threw their own twist on it. They slapped that WWE on the top there. How big of a difference that made. Like, you wouldn't think just slapping one little logo on the top, because it's not a big logo. It's rather small logo on the top of that plate. Made such a huge difference. I like this belt a lot more than I do the WCW version, or really almost any other version.
The cast or the crumb rind?
What's that?
The cast, like the later version during the invasion?
The original. I like this
or
better
the crumb
than the
rind.
I like this better than the crumb rind. I do.
Okay.
I really do. This Big Gold, I'm throwing it. It's getting a number 1. Absolutely beautiful, amazing build.
Dang. What do you think?
I loved it. I mean, the fact that how big it actually was, like, you know, you've seen Big Show grab the titles and go, my gosh, those things are tiny in his hands. And then he grab this and you're like, okay, that's still pretty big with him holding that.
Yeah.
You know, it was just something that was like, wow, that's the one that everybody wants. That's the one that everybody wants to fight for. There's just a few things I wish they could have done to make it pop a little more. You know, because I mean, you can't always see how much detail there is in all those engravings from the TV, and well, our TV quality wasn't that great back then either. So,
Heard.
You got to work with what you got to work with. So, I'm going to go with a 2 on it.
Damn, you're so close. Going to number 1.
I thought we had a.
I know it's the first time we all agree, but no. Okay. Still mad about the radar, aren't you?
Yes.
Let's go into the Monday Night Raw version.
So far.
Move on to the Monday Night Raw version of the spinner. I prefer this over the SmackDown. I'll put it in the 2, but I'm probably going to put it above when we rearrange them. Casey, what do you think?
Monday Night Raw version. That's probably the most memorable version. It's the most. Well, actually, that was the first replicated version. Was the Monday Night Raw version. The other part of my tied for favorite on the spinner is the No Mercy 2007 version, which was Monday Night Raw plate, but it had that red jewel on the WWE Champion plate. And shout out to Jocelyn Marie over at Healing Hero Belts, because she has made
best.
What?
Sorry to interrupt you, but that No Mercy version is the best. My favorite version.
Yes, absolutely. It's gorgeous. And I was going to give a shout out to Jocelyn Marie over at Healing Hero, because she has done several customs from what I've seen on that and absolutely knocks it out of the park. So go check out her website, healingherobelts.com. Pretty good work. That is not a paid promotion. I love it just because of that version alone. Triple H made that thing look absolutely badass in 2008, especially moving into 2009, WrestleMania 25, holding it high above his head with the pyro going off at the end. Epic shot. Beautiful belt. Just because of that Monday Night Raw with the red plate or whatever, the red jewel on it, whatever, it's also going to go in the number one spot. I'm giving the spinner some love today.
Ooh. Okay,
Ooh.
Come
Dayne.
at me, Internet.
Dayne.
Wow, was not expecting that. Honestly, man, I'm out of words right now.
Me too. I'm a little speechless.
That actually, woo. Like Casey said, it is the most memorable. That's what most people know. Man, that's a tough decision. I'm gonna go 2-hole with it as well.
All right. 2?
2.
All right. 2 it is. Sorry, Casey. But
Oh, that's
Divas.
Pass.
This is a fucking joke. If there ever is going to be an uglier belt than light heavyweight, it might be this one. Maybe. I don't know. It's kind of hard to toss out. They're both disgusting. This
You're
is a
acting like
5 though.
WCW hardcore doesn't exist.
Oh, those 3 are like the pyramid of the worst belts in the world. And the Fiend is right in the middle as a crown jewel. This Divas is disgusting. It's such, even for not even the belt. The belt design is so bad it transcends past belt, and it's just degrade. It's degrading for women. Like they're wrestling out there and they're being called divas. It's ridiculous. Just this belt is stupid. 5. If there's anything lower, it's going lower. Casey, please don't say something higher than 5. What do you think?
Let's
go. It's a damn butterfly. It's a butterfly on a championship belt.
Hey,
who in the blue hell thought this was a good idea?
Hey, in their defense, butterfly tramp stamps were a thing back then, so
irrelevant. Like, the only thing this belt has going for it is it looks 1,000 times better than anything that could come out of United Belt Brothers.
Oh yeah.
This thing is absolutely garbage. Now, I gotta pay a little bit. Of homage to Rob Staniloff when I say, would I own it? Yes, because it's rare. And there's actually one on the way, so stay tuned for that. But no, I hate this fucking belt, and it's getting a 5.
Now, before Dayne goes, I just want to say the only belt that is worse than that one is this piece of shit, the Fiend belt made by whoever the fuck that is.
Now, hang on, that still looks better than United Belt Brothers.
It does look a bit better, at least it's cut properly. Dayne, what do you think of the Divas Championship?
Are you saying that the Fiend belt is worse than your other favorite?
That's a discussion for another day. I'm not ready for that mentally to compare the 2 biggest pieces of shit in the belt community. Go ahead, Dayne.
I didn't know what the heck they were thinking with that. It's a butterfly. Like Casey said, it's a freaking butterfly. There is nothing rough and tough about a butterfly. So, heck, it could have been a moth for all we know. And actually, I think a moth would have looked better on there. So
a moth would have, at least, no. This is ridiculous.
Hey, we had
tags.
All 3 of us. We came together on that one.
Finally.
5C. I really need
penny tags are yeah, I'm not feeling them today. Some days I don't mind them. Today's not that day. It's a 4. Just the color of the penny. The silver ones, the current ones, aren't bad. I mean, the silver is decent. The Spartan helmets, it's pretty cool. The design itself is not bad, but the bronze, the penny color, looks like dog shit. Like, why would you want your tag team championship? And I know WWE treats the tag teams like a joke, but It's supposed to be the number 1 prize in your tag team division, which is separate than the men's, but who cares? They just treat it like some bullshit. It's the color of bronze, which is traditionally third place. It's just such a joke to make it bronze. Just literally make it gold, make it silver, dual plated. Hell, make it pink. But bronze, are you? It's a joke. 5. Casey, just because it's bronze, that just pissed me off. Casey, what do you think?
So I remember when these things debuted on TV in 2010. I hated them, absolutely hated them. I don't really care for them, and you're going to hear a lot of people within the belt community and replica collecting. They're going to hype this thing up. Now, that's not because of what it is. The reason you're going to hear this thing get hyped up is because it was one of the most accurate and better quality Figs Inc. replica belts that was ever produced. That's literally it. There is nothing about this belt that even seems prestigious. Fucking Spartan helmets. What the hell is this? What in the blue hell is this? What happened to the tag teams lifting the earth? What happened to Eagles? Why in the blue freaking hell is there like Aztec carving around the plates? Like, what is this? I don't get it. I don't understand it. It looks like the Mayan calendar. I hate it. It's a 5.
Nice. Dane, I see
You guys
your
are gonna,
face. I have a feeling you love this belt.
you guys are gonna
What do you
hate me.
think about it?
I actually enjoyed the copper versus the now silver. You could just see more detail in the belt. It made it pop more to me than the silver does.
I can agree with you on that aspect.
Yeah.
I did not care for that color at all.
It's like two-tone almost, but
Now, I think what would make this belt really cool is if they might have done like a silver background with the copper Spartan. Maybe.
like a dual-plated almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna go 4 with it.
All right, low ranking, but majority rules, so 5 it is. I see. Thank God we're back on good belts.
Oh, yes.
I can finally breathe. The scratch logo I see. I love this belt. White version, white strap. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous. Now, it's not as good as the block logo, but it is still a damn beautiful belt on the white strap. It looks gorgeous. I love it. Number 1, easy, easy. Casey, what do you think?
Love it myself. Matter of fact, I got to ship one of these out to you pretty soon. I was there the night that Cody retired the Oval IC and unveiled the classic version, which I mean it was that really effed up Jamar version.
Yeah.
But I was there that night. I got some footage I need to send to you because it's pretty cool. I just looked at it the other day. Love it. Can't say anything bad about it. Yeah, number 1, absolutely.
Nice. Dane.
I love the white leather. I mean that was international championship right there, or intercontinental. Sorry, excuse me on that. That was dumb on my part. But yeah, this was my favorite one. By far number 1.
Perfect. Once again, we agreed on the beautiful classic IC. Let's go on to the United States Championship scratch logo. Yeah, I like this belt. I mean, a lot of people were hating on it because I think it was around for so damn long that people just got sick of it. Me being one of them. I remember when the current U.S. title came out. I was so excited because I was just sick of the same design. But that being said, it's been about 2 years, 1 or 2 years since the new old design was retired. And yeah, I like this belt. I really do. I don't love it, but it's a good design. I don't think it's as good as the WCW United States 5-plater, but I still think it's a great design. It screams US. You know what belt it is. You look at it, you know it's the United States Championship. Big flag on there. That's one thing that's kind of missing from the current. I feel like there should be blue behind the stars. And everyone and their mother is painted. They've done the paint model with the blue. But still, regardless, I do really like how the flag is visibly. You can tell it. I love the statues on the side plates. I believe it's like the eagle and then the Statue of Liberty. The logo plate, I love the logo plate. It's gorgeous. Gold tip. It's a nice belt. I'm putting it at 2. Casey, what do you think?
I mean, how can you not love this belt? Like you said, it screams United States. The flag front and center. The only thing I don't really like about this belt are all of the changes that they made to it over the years. Like, you look at this thing when it first debuted, it looked like a kid size on some people compared to when like Zack Ryder and Dolph Ziggler held it, and it all of a sudden looked like it was the size of the network logo.
Yeah.
So make sense of that, Nancy Drew. What the hell's going on there? But I mean, I'm gonna go ahead and give it a 3. I like this belt a lot. However, I do prefer the new version. That thing is absolutely gorgeous. Love the replica of it. Like you said, though, it needs that splash of blue. They really, really missed the mark on that one. But yeah, I'm gonna give this thing a 3. No hate for it. I do like it quite a bit. Matter of fact, keep your eyes open for an unboxing because you may see one of those soon. But yeah, that's all I got to say about it. Nothing bad.
Nice. Dane, what do you think?
Casey, you're a Nazi. It's America's birthday. Come on. It's a better belt than that.
Edit out Nazi.
No, I'm with Max on this. I love that belt. I mean, it was around for a long time, and it was a well put together belt, and I think that's why it hung around so long. I mean, everything on it screamed U.S. It was U.S. Championship, and that's what it meant, and that's how it showed itself. And I'm going with a 2 on it as well.
All right, two it is. Now's the fun part. We get to rearrange each section from best to worst, not worst, but worst of that specific tier. Starting off with number 5. Personally, what do you think guys think is worse, the Divas or the Penny? I know I shit on the Penny a lot. Very passionate about tag team wrestling, so it pissed me off for a second. I think the Divas are worse. What do you guys think, Casey?
Divas is 100,000% worse. Like, no question. Why do you even have to ask that?
Yeah.
All right.
Keep the butterfly at the bottom.
All right. And for number 3, number 3, I'm okay with keeping the SmackDown tag on the top of the tier. What do you guys think? Casey and I are okay with it. Dane?
Yeah, I'm okay with that being on top.
Worst, I kind of want to put the IC on the worst in number 3, to be honest. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Casey?
My worst, I would say put the U.S. Spinner.
U.S. Spinner worse than Oval IC?
Mm-hmm.
What?
Dane, what do you think?
No.
I'm good with this. What do you, I think it's a good compromise.
Down.
Majority rules.
All right. That'll be the rankings for that. Number 2, I kind of like Undisputed V2 on the top of 2. What do you guys think?
Man, I gotta say that
You
number
want that
2
spinner
slot,
on?
the SmackDown Spinner needs to take number 1. That's just my opinion.
SmackDown, not the Raw?
The SmackDown. It's the OG, man.
That's true.
Design-wise, though, No Mercy version.
See, the No Mercy version and the SmackDown with the stones are tied for me. So I would honestly be fine if you put either one of those there. But I just have to say SmackDown because you just don't hardly see it.
Daniel, what do you think? What's number 1, 2? I'll let you decide. I'll give it to you.
Oh, why are you putting this on my shoulders? Dang it, Max.
Undisputed or Spinner?
I don't do good under pressure. Under pressure. SmackDown.
SmackDown? Okay.
Which is hard because.
You were a SmackDown kid, though.
Yes, I was.
All right. Number 1 of 2 is SmackDown. You guys good with the rest of the rearrangement? Or do you guys want to switch up anything else?
I think it's good.
I think it's solid.
Maybe swap the rated R and the Raw Spinner.
No. I will slap through the phone.
Let's let him have the radar spinner.
Yeah. Okay, we'll give you this one.
I'll give you this one. Now, top of 1. I want to put the big gold top of 1, to be honest. What do you guys think?
I got to keep my Undisputed V1 there so Dane can make the call.
Stop it. Stop it.
You're the guest.
I am a fan of the
Or Ruthless. Raw.
I'm going to leave the V1 there.
All All right.
Victory! Thy name is
Ruthless.
KWFan 93.
Raw tag or IC?
I see.
Raw tag.
Raw tag. Sorry. I love it too much. I know.
I mean, honestly, though, both of those are great championships, and it's hard to decide the situation.
Yeah, they're both perfect.
All four of those
Okay.
up top. I mean,
The
there's
four
no.
is a solid section. That is our rankings for the Ruthless Aggression / PG era up to 2010. Number one of the tiers going the only WWF belt on this tier, the undisputed version one, and the bottom of the tier, the Divas Championship, that piece of shit.
Boo!
And below
Pink
that, the light
butterfly.
heavyweight. But before we do leave, we should talk about next week. Before that, Casey, my memories. I haven't done this in 2 weeks. I'm forgetting things. How do we finish the podcast again?
Well, I think this is the time, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, that we present a belt over the shoulder to close out this podcast.
I think it's a good idea. Now I might have to remove my background to show off my belt.
Probably so.
Let's try Rob's room. Shout out to Rob.
Yeah.
There we go. Rob's room works.
Rob's room.
I do have the X-Men belts, block logo, blue, big eagle. You can kind of see it there. I just broke into Rob's room, so I have to show off this belt. Dane, what are you putting over your shoulder?
Dun, 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 dun. A little piece of Ruthless Aggression era. Papa! This is the newest one in the collection. It's number 2. I was a big Stone Cold fan. I had to. Thanks to Jamie on that one. Absolutely love it. It is a Figs Inc. So my first Figs.
Nice.
And I could also throw that beautiful guy over my shoulder as well if I wanted to. And he made an appearance last time, so
switch it up.
Yep.
I wonder what you'll have next time. Casey, what do you have over your shoulder?
So we've got one of my newest acquisitions. This is a version 1 Figs Inc. big logo. The predecessor to the Ruthless Aggression era here. This is the terrible version with the metal behind it. Now you may find yourself asking, why in the blue hell would you pick up the terrible version? Because it was the version 1. Get off my back. Let me do what I want. I'm KWolf and I collect my own weight.
And
anyway,
like Rob says, it's rare.
It's effing rare. And with Rob Staniloff stepping down, somebody has got to take the throne, as Figs Inc. is my third middle name. Twice removed.
Taking the mantle of Mr. Figs Inc. Now, before we leave, we do want to talk about next episode. Now, Dane, it's perfect. You pulled out the Smoking Skull. I kind of teased it with this. We're going over the Attitude Era belts, as well as the Attitude Era scratch logo belts, and the beautiful, oh so beautiful, block logo belts. There's going to be so much scratch. We need to block to even it out and make it gorgeous. That'll be a very, very fun episode. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys next time when we rank the Attitude Era belts.